Hello, people. My name's Kieran S-Lawler. This is Hallam TV, and welcome to a presentation on targeted social good. I'm the head of content and social media at Hallam. First time I am using Zoom to record a presentation. A few lovely people, so fingers crossed this is going to work on my first go, and I don't need to do any retakes afterwards. But listen, let's get into it. Targeted social good. If anyone follows me on social media, you've probably, or you're one of my clients or whatever, you've probably heard me throwing this phrase around a little bit over the last few weeks. Great. I now know how to go on to the next slide as well. That's very important for this, isn't it? Basically, quick agenda for today. What is this new phrase that you keep hearing me talk about, targeted social good? Why should we do it? How do we use it? And then some tools, basically that I use on a daily or weekly basis that might be able to help out if you're involved in social media, you want to be more involved, or you just want to see, you got a little bit of interest in what tools everyone else is using as well. So first off, what is targeted social good? And I kind of coined this phrase by accident. We've heard of the phrase social good before. Of course, we all have, but never really in a social media setting. And then also targeted social good in a social media setting. So I broke it up into the different sections so you can clearly understand what I'm actually talking about. It'd probably help, wouldn't it? So it's providing your target audience, there's a targeted, with valuable educational and or fun content, there's the good bit, through the use of social media. Boom, social, targeted, good social, targeted social good. That's the one. So basically, yeah, we want to be providing useful information, maybe distractions, maybe education, bits of fun. We want to be pushing these as marketers and as businesses through our social media channels. However, we need to be targeted. We can't just do it for the sake of doing it and share it with everyone. We need to be making sure that the stuff we're putting out there, the content we're pushing, is relevant for our target audience. Okay. Before we get into that, every time I do any kind of speaking and try and educate the wider sector, the marketing sector, I usually do a bit of a selfie, don't I? How am I going to do that today, though? Oh, right. Tell you what, I'm going to just take a selfie of me at my screen. I'll pop this on social media later as well. You can follow me at Kieran S-Lawler, and also as well, be sure to follow Hallam Agency online. Be sure to check out our hashtag Thrive Online. Good news as well. This Hallam TV is not just going to be me doing it. You'll be glad to hear. Hopefully, over the next few weeks, we're going to have a wealth of experts from Hallam, all talking about their little niches and what they think's going on at the moment. But yeah, let's go for this. Let's try and get a little selfie in here. There you go. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like now so you can see it. Is anything looking dodgy? No, I think we're safe. I think we're safe. So I'll pop that online later anyway, so you just can have a little look. Right, okay, cool. If you don't know me, like I said, my name's Kieran. I love social media, by the way. Like, I've been doing social ever since probably I was about 16, I think, something like that, so a long time ago. But yeah, basically one day, how I got into it is my nan was on Facebook and she was like, "Oh, you got to get on this Facebook, lad." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm on MySpace and I love MySpace." But anyway, cut a long story short, my nan got me on Facebook, and ever since I've just rolled with it and started doing little bits and my career just progressed over time, like anyone's naturally does and organically does. So quick point before we start getting into the top 4 tips, and the main aim of this video is just to share with you my top 4 tips about targeted social goods. But if you hear anything that's interesting, just think like, how can you use it moving forward as well? And then any light bulb moments you get, any thoughts that you think, you know what, I can definitely do something with that. Cool, write it down. You are much more likely to action something if you make a note of it, put it on your to-do list, write it somewhere, save it as your screen saver. I don't care. Just write it down if you think it's going to add value to your work. Okay. So, we're in a time period at the moment, aren't we, where it's not great. Let's be honest. A lot of us are now working from home. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't even working, and it's for us. It's a time as social media marketers to be a little bit more reactive. Obviously, we've got to be reactive anyway, but proactivity sort of goes out the door with what's happening, and we just need to be reactive, and we need to make sure that we put our short-term measures in place now to ensure the long-term success of our brands and our businesses. Okay. I've been chatting with some of our Hallam partners at the likes of Facebook, and we've noticed a huge spike. Oops, went too fast, too forward. We've noticed a huge spike in people being online. I'll get into that a little bit more, but first off the bat, right, it's time for us to reimagine our social media strategy. If you haven't got one, it's a great time to start. The reason for that is it's not just myself and other social media marketers talking about it. Facebook is noticing a lot more people logging in and spending time on the platforms. They've told me that. Look, these are some article headlines that if you can hear my squeaky chair as well, it's because I'm moving about. But yeah, these are some article headlines. Yourselves from being in lockdown and stuff. Like, you're probably on WhatsApp more. You're probably on Facebook, social media more. TikTok's back on the rise again. I've been watching it. What have I been watching it for? Like, it's meant to be for kids. It's so addictive. But yeah, messaging's increased. Face-to-face calls increased. People are using it as not just a way to engage with communities and their families and their friends, but also be educated and, like I said, a bit of a distraction as well. But the main reason that you're here, the 4 top tips for social media at this moment in time. Okay, so tip 1 is to use social media to communicate honestly and transparently with your customers. We're noticing that honest communication is key, especially at this time period. Consumers are clever now. They're clever. Like, they know when you're having them on and stuff. We can't do it. Like, we should never have done it in the past anyway. I'm not saying I did, but like old school marketers, you know what I mean? And consumers they will be willing to stick with brands that they trust. And the only way that they'll trust us is if we are honest with them and we're fully transparent with them as well. Okay, so that's definitely tip 1 on how to be on social at the moment. If you're not being honest and transparent with your customers, you've got to ask yourself your question why as well. You dodgy so-and-so. Right, tip 2. We need to use, like I said, a lot more people are on social media now, aren't they? And I'm using it to look at a lot more news as well. And we need to use social as another avenue for us to share key information with our customers, clients, anyone who has any interest in our business. Social is the right place to do it. Now, 1 second, let me just have a little drink. There's a few ways, right? Traditionally, you might put a press release out, or you might write a news article on your website. That's fine. Keep doing it. That's all good. But just think to yourself, how can I take that content I've already got in this news article on my website and share that into a post? Is there thought leaders within your organization who you can provide them with that content and say, you know what, mate, can you just share this as an article on your LinkedIn page, or, you know what, on the company Facebook page, I'm going to put a link to the article with a little bit of information in the comment. What can you do? How can you use that content to use social media as an avenue to keep people updated? Tip 3. This is possibly one of the harder ones to do because, it's something that marketers have been saying that they want to do for a long time, but only a select few have actually really give it a good go. It's to build that sense of community online, which is, it really needs at this time, in all honesty. People are searching for sense of communities. We've seen the likes of one thing that I'm really liking anyway is back home in obviously I'm based in Nottingham now, where Hallam Agency is based. But back in Liverpool, there's a virtual pub on Facebook, and it's just a cool sense of community that have all come together, started from this world that we now live in for hopefully short term, by the way. But we're all in the situation together, aren't we? And how I love pubs, so that community works for me. But you've got other people who love so much other stuff, and how can you create a community out of something that your business can add value to as well? Which moves us quite nicely into tip 4, and sort of what this presentation is all about. And it's a great opportunity to do good. Basically, we've seen a lot of brands already online giving discounts, giveaways, supporting people. Brands like Adobe have give promotions out. We've got a wealth of free courses online that we didn't have before. There's loads. We've seen loads, let's be honest, loads of little bits of social good. How can your business, or how can you as a marketer create social good? How can you target it at your specific audience? So what you want to be asking is, what does your business do? And I'm not saying, the reasons why we're doing this, I'm mumbling a bit now, but we want to be asking ourselves who our audience is, who are the people who are interested in us as a brand, what struggles are they facing at the moment, and how can we help with a bit of expert knowledge behind that idea? But literally, if you don't know what I'm talking about by this point, go on social media for 2 minutes and you'll see some social good. It's everywhere. It's something that I believe every business needs to be doing at this moment in time. So a few concluding thoughts on it. We should be more social, more community-led, and ultimately just try and offer a spark of happiness in these dark times. We all are feeling more isolated, that's obvious, but if us as brands and marketers and businesses can position our activity around these social community, providing value, providing fun distractions, those sort of angles, the customers are gonna remember you for it. So it's definitely not a time to be trying to make money. Obviously, I said at the start of the presentation, we need to make sure that we get our short-term activity right to ensure our long-term success, because people will be more likely to stick with your brand after the tougher times are over if you give a bit now. And it's ultimately it's a chance to humanize your brand if you haven't been able to do that in the past as well. Your customers are going to love you for it at the end of the day. So these recommendations are fully in line with everything that I'm talking to my clients about now. Like I said, you'll hear me talk about it on social as well over the next few weeks. Can't speak. Anyway, another thing for you to know, SME grants are coming. Our partners at Google and Facebook have confirmed this. We're just waiting on some more information. So if you've got any questions about that, give us a shout. And then, like I said, I would wrap up with some useful tools and tips. These are probably the tools that I use most as a social media marketer. It's a slide that I use at most of my presentations. Like I said, I'm pretty transparent. I'd go through them, but I don't really think I need to. Just spend a bit of time, but probably just a little bit of a shout out and self promotion to the Hallam website in terms of the blog content on there. Loads of good stuff, especially if you've got some down time over the next few days or this weekend or what have you. Definitely check some of the blogs out. It'd be good to get your thoughts on them in the comments as well. And if this video has just lasted way too long for you, but you think, what, some of those points were all right, I might want to use them. If you head over to my LinkedIn page, Kieran S-Lawler, there's a very condensed, shorter video of basically what I've just spoke about as well. And that's it, guys. Like I said, stay in touch. Head over to Hallam's YouTube channel. There's going to be more Hallam TV videos on there. If you want to connect with me, I'm social. I'm about. Give us a shout. Always happy to have a little chat as well. I think that's probably about it. So peace out. Stay safe and enjoy enjoy your marketing, I suppose. All right. Right now, like I said, the first one, I'm going to try and turn this off now. Meeting Stop recording. See you later.